My child, pause for just 1 minute. I have stepped into this moment because I must tell you something urgent before your next step changes everything. My child, stop right here and breathe, just for this one sacred moment that I have carved out of time specifically for you. Do not rush past this. Do not let your thoughts pull you away. I am the one who placed this moment before you, and I am asking you to hold still because heaven is leaning toward you with something that will shape the very direction of your next breath. You may think this is ordinary, but I assure you, beloved, this moment is marked. This moment is chosen. This moment is carrying a weight you cannot see yet, but you will feel its impact in the days ahead. To listen closely. Lean in with all of your heart. My voice is here, hovering over you, surrounding you, touching the deepest parts of you that you have not allowed anyone to reach for a very long time. I am stepping into your space right now because you are standing at the edge of a shift that could transform your entire story. And before you take another step, before you allow your mind to wander down the path you think makes sense, before you move from the place you stand, I need to speak something to you that cannot wait. You have been walking with questions swirling in your heart, with doubts whispering at the corners of your thoughts, and with fears tightening around your choices. You have been carrying burdens you tried to convince yourself you could handle alone. You have been making decisions from a place of tiredness, from a place of hurt, from a place you haven't fully healed from. And I see how close you are to stepping into something that will change everything, which is why I must speak before you move. My child, you do not fully understand how important this moment is, but I do. I see where your next step leads. I see what waits on the other side of your decisions. I see the blessings that are ready, the battles you don't see, the dangers forming quietly, and the breakthroughs that want to burst open. I see the seeds you planted in tears that are finally beginning to sprout beneath the surface. I see the connections, the opportunities, the doors, the endings, the beginnings, and the turning points. I see what you cannot see. And because I see it all, I could not let you continue forward without interrupting your thoughts with my voice. I love you too deeply to let you walk blindly when heaven is trying to guide you clearly. My beloved, I know you have been feeling a shift inside you, that quiet tugging that has made you uncomfortable, the restlessness that won't go away, the sudden sensitivity in your spirit, the heaviness that pressed on you in moments of silence, the random waves of emotion that made you pause and wonder what is happening. That was me. I have been stirring your spirit to recognize that something is approaching. I have been drawing your attention to the truth that you are standing in a moment that cannot be ignored. I have been whispering to your heart, trying to pull you closer, trying to prepare you, but you were not yet ready to understand the full weight of my message. But now the moment has arrived. Now your heart is open enough. Now your spirit is alert enough. Now your steps are close enough to the turning point that I must interrupt you. Do not think this is coincidence. You did not stumble into this word. You did not arrive here by chance. You were guided, drawn, pulled, led. I placed this message before your eyes at the exact second your heart softened enough to hear me. And every distraction that tried to pull you away earlier, every delay that kept you from this moment, every nudge that brought you back, all of it was my hand making sure you would not miss this 1-minute encounter with divine urgency. You may wonder why I speak with such heaviness, why I come with such intensity, why I ask you to stop everything for this one sentence. It is because your next step matters more than you realize. The step you are thinking of taking, the decision weighing on your heart, the direction you are leaning toward, It will shape your future in ways you are unaware of. You will open things or close things. It will shift relationships, rearrange connections, and position you either for breakthrough or for unnecessary pain. I do not want you walking into a storm you were never meant to face. I do not want you aligning yourself with what will drain you or delay you. I do not want you losing years on paths that do not belong to you. I do not want you mistaking comfort for folly or fear for wisdom or loneliness for divine direction. Type I believe. Lord, your ways are higher if you've chosen trust over fear. My child, you are standing at a gate that looks simple to you but is powerful in the unseen. This next step is not small. It is not random. It carries a ripple effect. And because of that, I cannot let you move without speaking to you first. I interrupt you not to scare you, but to protect you. I stop you not to delay you, but to position you. I call your name not to overwhelm you, but to awaken you. I break into your day not to add pressure, but to remove the burdens you cannot keep carrying into the next season. I know how overwhelmed you've been. I know how many decisions you had to face without feeling grounded. I know how many moments you felt abandoned even when I was holding you. I know how you've been trying to appear strong while something fragile inside you trembled beneath the surface. I know how many times you said you were fine while your soul whispered for rest. I know how hard you've been fighting just to stay afloat. I know the weight on your shoulders, the pressure on your heart, the exhaustion in your spirit. And I know how close you are to making a choice from pain instead of clarity. That is why I am here. Not later. Not tomorrow. Not after you take the next step. Now. Right now. This 1 minute is holy. This 1 minute is protection. This 1 minute is alignment. This 1 minute is heaven reaching into time to keep you from walking into something before receiving what you need to know. Pause, my child. Hear me. Let my voice cover your confusion. Let my tone settle your anxiety. Let my presence still the shaking in your heart. Because what I am about to reveal in the full message will guide your next steps, and your next steps will guide your life. You are not receiving this hook because you are weak. You are receiving it because you are chosen. You are being stopped because your destiny is too important to risk. You are being pulled into stillness because what comes next must be handled with divine clarity, not human reasoning. I am preparing you. I am protecting you. I am positioning you. And before you take another step, I must tell you something urgent that will change the way you walk from this moment forward. My child, let me stop you right here, in this exact breath, in this exact second of your life, because heaven has stepped into your path with intention. This moment is not a pause created by accident. It is a divine interruption shaped by my own hands. I am drawing you out of the noise around you, out of the swirl of thoughts inside you, out of the momentum that has been pushing you forward without clarity. I am calling your name with urgency because you were about to take another step without hearing what I need to say, and that step would have carried weight you are not prepared to bear. I am standing before you now because I love you too deeply to allow you to walk blindly into a moment that requires divine awareness. I know how fast your mind has been moving. I know how tightly your heart has been holding everything together. But listen. I am interrupting you because something sacred is unfolding around you, and the next breath you take must not be taken in confusion, exhaustion, or fear. My beloved child, you did not sense me at first, but I have been calling out to you softly for days, nudging your spirit, stirring something deep inside you that you could not name. The heaviness you felt for no reason, The sudden stillness, the unexplained sense that something was shifting. That was me preparing the atmosphere around you. That was me placing a holy pause inside your heart. You thought you were simply tired, emotionally drained, uncertain, but my child, it was my spirit trying to get your attention. I was slowing you down so that you wouldn't step into the next moment without my voice covering you. When I interrupt you, it is never without purpose. When I stop you, it is never to delay you. It is always because heaven sees something approaching that you cannot yet see, and I must prepare your spirit before it arrives. I need you to understand the weight of what is happening right now. This is not an ordinary moment. This is not a simple reflection or a comforting whisper. This is a divine intervention. Heaven itself is leaning in because the path before you is shifting, and I cannot allow you to enter it with the same mindset, the same fears, or the same wounds that have traveled with you until now. You have outgrown the season behind you, but you have not yet stepped into the strength required for the season ahead. So I interrupt you to close the distance between where you stand and where I am leading you. You were about to move too quickly, too quietly, too blindly, and though you thought you were making progress, you were unknowingly stepping toward unnecessary pain. But I am here now, stopping you gently, but firmly, because the love I have for you will not let you move without divine instruction. My child, you must feel the seriousness of this moment. I am not speaking to scare you. I am speaking to awaken you. Your life has been carrying a quiet momentum, patterns, emotions, decisions forming beneath your awareness, and you were about to walk into a moment shaped by these things rather than by my wisdom. You were about to allow your emotions, your weariness, or your assumptions to guide a decision that will shape your next season. And though you feel strong enough to move forward, I see the spiritual terrain ahead. I see the unseen traps laid by the enemy, the distractions waiting to pull your heart, the subtle deceptions forming as opportunities, the relationships or choices that appear harmless but would drain you, distract you, or detour you. My interruption is my protection. Please support our channel. Our mission is to bring happiness, peace, and devotion to God into your life. If you wish to help us continue this work, you can kindly show your support by donating through Super Thanks. I am telling you to pause because I am repositioning you emotionally, spiritually, mentally, and even physically. You have been running on empty in some areas of your heart. You have been trying to carry yourself on strength you did not have. You have been making choices from a place of survival, not vision. And I cannot allow the child I love to build a future on exhaustion. You have been hurting quietly. You have been carrying a strange heaviness, a sense of being alone in your thoughts. And even though you tried to keep moving, something inside you has been whispering for rest, for clarity, for some kind of sign that you are not walking blindly. That whisper was me. And this interruption is my answer to that whisper. I see you, my child. I see the racing thoughts you tried to silence. I see the moments you felt surrounded by people yet still felt unseen. I see the questions you carry inside your heart, the ones you do not say out loud because you fear sounding weak or lost. I see the nights you laid awake, wondering if you are making the right decisions, wondering if you misheard me, wondering if you should turn back or push forward. I see how desperately you wanted clarity. And even when you tried to convince yourself that you were okay, your spirit was crying for guidance. That is why I had to interrupt you. That is why heaven had to open this moment before you. That is why my presence has stopped you right now, because your heart needs to hear me clearly before you take another step. there is a weight on your life that you do not fully comprehend. The choices you make now are connected to things that will unfold months and years ahead. The relationships you allow, the shifts you make, the opportunities you accept or reject, the words you speak, the habits you hold on to, each one is being recorded in your future. And the enemy knows this. That is why he has been whispering confusion, stirring fear, planting worry, and creating distraction around you. He wants your next step to be guided by pressure instead of peace. He wants you to make a decision too quickly, before hearing my voice. He wants you to lean on your own understanding instead of seeking my direction. He wants you to walk into something prematurely, before you are spiritually ready for it. But I will not allow that. Not for you, my beloved. Not for the one I have carried through storms you didn't even see forming. Not for the one I protected from battles that were meant to destroy you. Not for the one whose tears I collected when you thought no one cared. Not for the one whose heart I held close even when you felt far from me. You are too precious to me for me to let you walk into the next chapter without my voice anchoring you. So I am stopping you now. I am placing my hand upon your spirit and stilling you. I am clearing the noise around you. I am silencing the doubts inside you. I am removing the pressure you put upon yourself. I am pulling you out of autopilot, because you cannot step into what I have prepared while carrying the weight of confusion. And you cannot hear my instructions if you are rushing ahead in your own strength. This interruption is not punishment. It is alignment. It is protection. It is preparation. It is love. You have asked me for signs. You have asked me for guidance. You have asked me for clarity. And you thought I was silent, but this moment right here is the answer you were waiting for. I am slowing you because the step you are about to take will shape your next season. I am speaking now because your heart finally opened enough to hear me. I am interrupting you because heaven is rearranging things around you, preparing something you are not yet aware of. And I need you to pause long enough to receive what your spirit has been craving. My child, feel the weight of my presence settling on you now. This is not your imagination. This is not coincidence. This is me, stopping you, covering you, pulling you into the quiet so I can speak. What comes next will require you to be spiritually steady, emotionally aware, and deeply rooted in me. And that can only happen if you allow me to interrupt you now. Stay here with me in this stillness. Let your heart receive the truth that this moment is holy. Do not resist this pause. Do not rush ahead. Do not lean back into fear. You are safe in my interruption. You are protected in my pause. And you are one breath away from hearing the words that will reshape your next step. My child, let me stop you because I love you too much to let you walk without my voice leading the way, my child. Now that I have stopped you, I must open before you the truth of what you have walked through, because too many of the battles you endured were carried in silence. You hid them behind quiet breaths, behind tired smiles, behind strength you forced into your bones when your heart wanted nothing more than to collapse. I saw every tear that slipped down your face when no one was watching. I saw the moments when your eyes stung from holding back emotions you felt you had no right to express. I saw how you would turn away from people, pretending you were okay, because you feared they would not understand or because you did not want to be a burden to anyone. I saw how you wiped away your tears before they even had the chance to fall, convincing yourself that you needed to be strong. But I was there, collecting every tear, honoring every emotion you silenced, holding your heart while it trembled beneath the weight of everything you never said out loud. You have lived through storms that shook the foundation of your soul. You have endured heartbreaks that pierced you deeper than you allowed anyone to know. You have carried disappointments that lingered in your spirit long after others forgot what happened. You have been the one who stayed up at night replaying conversations, questioning your worth, questioning your choices, questioning why certain people treated you the way they did, wondering why the love you gave so freely wasn't always returned with the same sincerity. And though you hid these wounds behind your strength, I saw them. I felt them. I stood with you in every silent ache. There were moments when you cried into your pillow so no one would hear. Times when you sat in the dark trying to breathe through pain you didn't know how to articulate. Moments when you didn't even know what to pray for because the weight in your chest smothered your words. I heard every unspoken prayer. I understood every word you never managed to say. Come in Jesus, you are my safe place if you found comfort in His presence. My child, the world saw your service, but I saw your depths. I saw the anger you didn't know how to release. I saw the memories you tried to bury because they were too painful to face. I saw the betrayal that cut you so deeply you began to question your own intuition. I saw the loneliness that crept into your bones even when you stood in the middle of a crowd. I saw the longing you carried, the longing to be understood, to be heard, to be valued, to be held with gentleness. I saw how tired your soul became from being strong for everyone while having no one who could see when you were about to break. And I do not condemn you for any of this. I do not look at your struggle and shake my head. I look at you with compassion because I know the battles you fought inside yourself were not small. They were mountains disguised as thoughts. They were storms disguised as I'm fine. They were battles of spirit and mind that no one could see but me. You faced seasons where everything around you seemed to fall apart at once. When people you trusted disappointed you. When doors you believed were yours suddenly shut without explanation. When relationships shifted unexpectedly, leaving you wondering what you did wrong. When you prayed and felt like the heavens were silent. When you reached out for help and felt invisible. When you tried to rise above your pain but found yourself sinking deeper into it. When you wanted to give up, but something inside you told you to hold on a little longer. That something was me. Even when you didn't recognize my presence, I was the strength beneath your weakness, the whisper that kept you standing, the quiet force that kept your heart beating through the heaviness. You have walked through valleys that would have crushed others. You survived seasons that were designed to break your spirit. You carried weights that were never meant to be yours alone. And even though you did not see me, I was right there beside you, holding you when you fell apart inside, guiding you through confusion, shielding you in battles that would have destroyed you if I had not intervened, comforting you in ways you were not aware of. When you felt an unexpected peace during moments when you should have been drowning, that was me. When you suddenly found the strength to get out of bed on days when your spirit felt empty, that was me. When a small spark of hope appeared in your heart after nights of crying, that was me. When you pushed through pain you didn't think you could handle, that was me carrying you. My beloved, I need you to hear me clearly. You are not weak for crying. You are not weak for breaking. You are not weak for feeling tired. You are not weak for needing help. You are not weak for feeling lost at times. You are human. And the battles you endured were not simple, not light, not insignificant. They were heavy, layered, complex, and deeply connected to wounds from your past, wounds that shaped how you see yourself, how you love, how you trust, and how you protect your heart. There are things you still carry because you were never given the space to heal them. There are fears still lodged inside you because you learned to expect pain instead of stability. There are insecurities that grew silently because you were forced to navigate too much alone. But I saw it all, and I never turned away. You felt abandoned by people, but you were never abandoned by me. You felt unseen by those around you, but I never took my eyes off you. You felt unheard when you cried in silence, but I caught every whisper. You felt misunderstood, but I understood every thought, every fear, every longing. I watched you fight for peace while chaos circled you. I watched you smile for others while you carried sorrow inside. I watched you hope again after being hurt, only to be hurt again. And still I saw you trying to love, trying to give, trying to believe. Do you know how precious that is to me? Do you know how much my heart leaned toward you every time you tried to rise, even though life had knocked the breath out of you? You have survived what others don't even know you went through, and that survival is not because you were strong enough, but because I held you through every moment. You endured seasons of emotional exhaustion. You carried wounds from voices that spoke carelessly over your spirit. You felt the sting of rejection in moments when you needed reassurance. You felt the disappointment of people who promised to stay but left anyway. You felt the silent agony of watching others treated with the grace you longed for. You carried guilt for things that were never your fault. You blamed yourself for outcomes that were rooted in the brokenness of others. You questioned your worth when the truth was that the people who failed you were never capable of giving you what your heart deserved. And through all of this, you held the weight alone, thinking no one would understand. But I understood. I always did. My child, your spirit grew tired because you fought battles with no witnesses. You stood strong in front of others while collapsing on the inside. You kept going when your heart was begging for rest. You swallowed your pain because you believed you had no one to pour it into. You thought you had to handle everything, manage everything, survive everything. But you were never meant to carry all of that without me. Every time you held back your tears, I felt them. Every time you hid your disappointment, I saw it. Every time you shook off the pain and pretended to be okay, I knew the truth. And I want you to know, it mattered to me. I was present for your breakdowns, for your silent prayers, for your whispered cries, for your nights of questioning, for your days of weariness. I saw you trying even when you felt empty. I saw you loving even when you weren't loved the same way. I saw you trusting even after betrayal. I saw you forgiving even when the wound was still fresh. I saw you sacrificing, hoping, praying, waiting. And though you felt alone in the process, you were never alone. You have survived because I walked with you through every valley, through every heartbreak, through every disappointment. I never let your spirit collapse completely. I never let your heart drown in sorrow. I never let the enemy destroy you, even when he tried repeatedly. I was there, shielding you, whispering strength into your soul, healing edges of your heart you didn't realize were wounded. My child, everything you endured in silence, I saw it all. And I am here now to lift the weight of those unspoken battles. You were never fighting alone. You were never crying unnoticed. You were never breaking without me holding the pieces. I have watched you survive, and now I will help you heal. You have carried the burden long enough, and now let me carry you. My child, now that I have revealed the battles you carried in silence, I must show you something far deeper, something hidden beneath the surface of your struggles. the enemy's plan against you. You have often blamed yourself, your past, your emotions, or even circumstances for the heaviness you felt, but there were forces working behind what your eyes could see. The enemy has studied you since the moment you were formed. He has watched your strengths, your vulnerabilities, your desires, your wounds, your hopes, and your fears. And because of what I placed inside you, because of the potential you carry, because of the anointing resting upon you, he has been threatened by you. Even when you felt small, even when you felt weak, even when you doubted yourself, he saw what you could become. He saw the light within you, the calling attached to your name, the destiny I wrote in my own hands, and he became determined to stop you before you could realize who you truly are. You wondered why the battles in your life felt so intense, why certain seasons seemed heavier than others, why you were attacked in ways that felt personal. My child, it was personal. The enemy was not fighting your mistakes. He was fighting your purpose. He wasn't attacking you because you were weak. He was attacking you because you were chosen. He wasn't trying to destroy your joy randomly. He was trying to dim the light I placed in you. Every delay you faced, every distraction that pulled you away from your path, every moment of fear that gripped your heart, every wave of exhaustion that made you feel powerless, all of it was part of a coordinated attempt to hinder your destiny. And now I will expose it to you so that you will no longer walk unaware of the war that has been fought around you. My child, one of the first weapons the enemy used against you was delay. He delayed what I intended for you so that you would begin to doubt yourself, doubt your prayers, doubt your worth, and even doubt me. He knew that if he could stretch time long enough, your hope would weaken. He placed obstacles that caused you to wait longer than you should have had to. Opportunities were blocked. Doors that should have opened remained shut. People who were supposed to support you turned away. Promises that were meant to bloom in one season were pushed into the next, and the enemy whispered into your heart, telling you that you were forgotten, that your prayers were denied, that perhaps you misheard me. But these delays were not a sign of abandonment. They were a sign that the enemy feared what was coming if you continued moving forward. He wanted you to lose the urgency of your calling, to settle for less, to convince yourself that maybe your dreams were too big. But even in these delays, I sustained you. Another weapon he used against you was distraction. He placed things and people in your path that pulled your attention away from what truly mattered. He surrounded you with noise so that my voice would seem distant. He filled your days with unnecessary worries, with responsibilities that drained you, with emotional ties that kept you from focusing on what I whispered into your heart. He tried to bury your calling beneath busyness. He hoped that if he cluttered your mind enough, you would forget the dreams I placed inside you. There were moments you felt disconnected from me, not because I withdrew, but because distraction clouded your spirit. At times, your heart felt too overwhelmed to pray, too exhausted to believe, too numb to worship. That was not because you were spiritually weak. It was warfare. The enemy created storms around your mind so that your spirit would grow tired. But even then, I was protecting your heart from what could have destroyed it fully. The enemy also used people to wound you, to discourage you, to distort the way you saw yourself. He sent people who carried envy, criticism, manipulation, or emotional instability to drain your spirit. Some spoke words into your life that became seeds of insecurity. Some betrayed you, causing you to question your worth. Some abandoned you, making you think you were unlovable. Others judged you without understanding the battles you were facing. You took some of their words as truth, not realizing those words were planted to break your confidence. But my child, listen to me. Their actions were never a reflection of your value. They were tools shaped by darkness to keep you from rising. The enemy used the wounds inflicted by others to make you shut down emotionally, to make you fear love, to make you hesitate to trust again, to make you isolate yourself. He wanted you to believe that relationships bring pain, that vulnerability leads to heartbreak, that love is a risk that will always leave you empty. But I saw how their actions hurt you, and I have been healing the wounds they left. Another weapon used against you was fear. Fear became a shadow that followed you into places where you should have felt safe. Fear whispered lies in the night. Fear told you that you were not enough, that you would fail, that you would be rejected, that you would lose everything if you tried. Fear made your heart tremble at the thought of taking steps toward destiny. Fear made you settle when you were meant to soar. Fear made you hold back your voice, silence your dreams, shrink your gifting, and hide your true self. Fear tried to convince you that your past defined your future. Fear made you question whether you were worthy of the blessings I promised you. Fear tried to replace faith. But every time fear grew loud, I was still there, whispering reminders of who you are in me. The enemy also used exhaustion, not just physical tiredness, but emotional and spiritual exhaustion. He drained your energy with battles that seemed never-ending. He weighed your spirit down with burdens I never asked you to carry. He let disappointment sit on your shoulders until your heart felt heavy. He made you replay old pain, old mistakes, old wounds until you felt too tired to hope for something better. He knew that if he could tire your spirit enough, you would stop fighting, stop believing, stop expecting anything good, and walk through life mechanically instead of spiritually. But even in the moments when your spirit felt drained, I surrounded you with strength you did not recognize. Every time you felt like quitting but didn't, it was because I upheld you. Say amen. You lifted my spirit if he's given you joy when you felt empty. And share this video.